California, which is about 30 miles east of LA.
My name is Jordan. I'm a junior. I'm from San Diego, California, and I'm majoring in computer science and computer information systems.
Hi, I'm Gavin Cummings. I'm a junior business major. I'm also from San Diego. Unfortunately, not the same school as Jordan.
And what are you studying?
I'm studying business marketing.
Perfect. So the first question we're going to ask is, what are some things that made you look at Carroll College and actually considering going to school in Montana, because it is such a large distance from California to Montana? So anyone can answer.
I found Carroll because I wanted something different. California is very go, go, go. San Diego, it's almost all one season. It's like 65 degrees year-round kind of thing. So I wanted a different experience out of college, and that's how I found Carroll and found Montana, was something different than the standard Southern California.
Perfect.
Yeah. I was kind of already looking out of state for nursing schools because nursing is a really impacted field of study in California. And so Carroll just kind of kept popping up. I'd talk to different people, and I'd say I was interested in nursing, and they'd be like, oh, well, like, did you apply to Carroll? And I was like, what is that? Like, and they'd be like, oh, like, it's this great, like, little Catholic school in Montana. And I was like, oh, where's Montana? So I never, ever imagined that I would go to school in Montana. But I just applied because it was free, and it ended up being my favorite school that I visited. So that's how I ended up at Carroll.
So yeah, for me, I pretty much knew what kind of school I wanted to go to. I knew I wanted a smaller school with a smaller Catholic school, and I actually heard about Carroll through my sister. My sister's a year ahead of me in school. She's actually a senior nursing major here right now, and she ended up coming up for the nursing program like Katie, and then also because of track and field. And my parents sent me up here on a visit when I was a senior in high school, and I really loved it. Plus, my sister's a lot cooler than me, so I figured I couldn't really go wrong following her.
Great. Okay, so what are some of the activities that you're involved in here at Carroll? Sports, clubs, anything like that?
Go ahead, Gav.
So a couple big ones for me. One of them is I'm a part of the Gold team, which actually Katie is too. And so basically we sort of work with the admissions department, and we're focused on incoming students for the most part. So I work at the front desk, answer phone calls that come in through there, work back in the office, help with administrative stuff. We give tours to kids who come and visit the school, families who come and visit the school. And basically that's a cool job because I love Carroll, so it's fun. It's not hard to tell people about that, and that's pretty much what that job is. Also, I'm involved with campus ministry. I'm actually a peer minister down in the freshman dorms, even though I'm a junior. So that's a really cool job. Basically, I just get to live with the freshmen and have a small group once a week, and they come to me if they have issues or problems or just want life advice about surviving college, and so that's really cool too.
Cool. I'm involved in almost too many organizations. So I'm a senator for the junior class for ASCC, which is the Associated Students of Carroll College. I am one of the co-directors of Carroll Student Activities Programming Board. I'm the assistant technical director for the theater department, and I also work as a tech saint, which is IT support for the Carroll's IT department. So the first ASCC is student government on campus, which is the voice between the administration and the student body. So I serve on that. And then the programming board, we put on campus-wide events for everyone, either free or subsidized. We bring comedians to campus, magicians. We do off-campus events. We bring big music acts, stuff like that. The theater department is a department that's just ramping up, just starting up again. It's really cool, really exciting. And we have a lot of productions going on right now. We have Little Mermaid that opens on Friday. And then the IT department, standard, getting people connected to Wi-Fi, stuff like that. So I'm involved all over campus.
Nice.
I'm involved in a few different clubs on campus. I'd say the one I've had the most involvement with is COT, which is Carroll Outreach Team, and that's our our Catholic Relief Services Club on campus, and we do a lot of community service. So every year we put on a ball that raises money for Families with Heart, and they help disabled children in Ecuador. We've done like different like color runs with Carroll Outreach Team. We've done water walks. Basically just a lot of different community service events. We also do a lot of service with the elderly care facilities in town, so we write them cards for basically every holiday, hand deliver them. Community service was most of my high school experience, so I really wanted to continue that at Carroll, and I'm really happy that I can be part of that club to do that.
Great. Okay, so we did have a question come in, and it was asking about what is there to do in Helena? Something that's fun, something that you can participate in.
So Carroll does a really good job of putting on fun events. I like attending the sporting events in the fall. Before all of our football games, we have a big tailgate out on the field, and that's really fun because you can get like free food and free t-shirts sometimes. And our basketball games are also really fun to go to. As far as the Helena area, we have a really cute downtown that's in walking distance from Carroll, so it's really easy to stroll down there when the weather's nice, find a nice little coffee shop to curl up in and study.
I really like all the outdoor experiences that you can have out and around campus. Mount Helena is like a 10-minute walk from campus, which is one of the largest city parks in the country, and it's about 1,000 feet from the base to the top, and so hiking, biking, rafting, fishing, and you can do anything in terms of outdoors and experiencing the big sky country, which is really awesome. We have camp, which is the Carroll Adventuring and Mountaineering program, which puts on a lot of outdoor events, which is more like at your own pace, either hikes or backpacking trips or cross-country skiing, depending on the weather. And ski trips, and then you can also rent stuff from them, so like a sleeping bag or a tent or whatever for your own adventures. So,
yeah, I would agree with Jordan. The activity in Helena, it's definitely pretty skewed towards outdoorsy sort of things. Hiking Mount Helena, there's a lot of cool hikes around. Fishing, there's skiing real close, and so yeah, me and my friends get into that a lot. But there's a fair amount of stuff to do. It's not that outdoorsy too. There's a movie theater about probably a 2-minute walk from campus here, so that's really cool. $5 Tuesday movie nights, which is nice. And yeah, like Katie was saying, a bunch of cool little shops, coffee shops, things like that. Bowling, it's all pretty close.
So another question, did you meet people easily when you came to Carroll? Was it easy to like connect with your classmates, make friends?
Yeah, I would say it was really easy freshman year, and a big part of that is just Guadalupe Hall, where most of the freshmen end up living, is a big part of that. It's Guad's a really fun place to live. It's 2 guys' floors and 5 girls' floors, and basically most people have their doors open for the majority of the time, and it's, I don't know, just kind of like a big, fun house that everyone lives in together freshman year, and it's not at all hard to meet people, and there's organized things where you get to go and meet people, ice cream socials, but you might also meet some of your best friends in the bathroom at 2 in the morning, so it's not tough at all.
Yeah, and God has an open door policy, so whenever you're in your room, they encourage you to leave your door open, which is really nice because the first few months of school, everyone just kind of walks around, introduces themselves. Actually, Gavin introduced himself to me on the first day of school, like on move-in day. So yeah. You meet so many people just by living in a residence hall.
Yeah. I really liked orientation. Orientation I thought was great because there's so many different activities, and a lot of larger schools, you end up having like there's 10 different orientations, whereas here we have one orientation, and it's right before classes begin, and you don't have to come out in the middle of the summer and go through orientation. You're here, and you're with your classmates and with your peers, and it's an awesome time. I was an orientation leader this last year, and I just had a great time, and still know some of the freshmen that were in my group, so it's awesome.
So another question about, since you're all from California, are you able to go home on breaks, and how do you get home?
I usually go home once in the middle of each semester and then for Christmas break. In the winter we get a whole month off, so that's a lot of great time you get to spend. Usually it's a lot warmer in California than here, so you kind of miss the coldest month of the year. which is my favorite part. And I go home in the middle of the semester for fall break and spring break. Those are a little bit longer, and I fly home for those.
I really like road tripping. So I so last summer I was back in California, and so I drove out here. But I took my time doing it. So I hit national parks and national monuments, and stopped in Salt Lake City and stuff like that. But I also get out a lot. So last weekend I was in Washington D.C. So not back to California, but flying in and out of Helena is no problem. I if I have to go home to see my grandparents or see my parents or my dog's passing away, it's not a big deal. So yeah.
Like Jordan was saying, Helena Airport's really easy. I'm usually a Christmas break and a summer break kind of guy. I anticipated before my freshman year, I thought I was going to be going home a lot more than I ended up going home, but that's just because there's so many cool opportunities, cool things to do during the different breaks at Carroll. So pretty much every spring break I've been here so far, I've ended up going on one of the headlights service trips, and yeah, there's always cool opportunities, but getting home's a piece of cake.
Okay, so honest answer, what are the winters like? Does it get super cold here?
I wouldn't say super cold. We're not in Alaska, and Canada's north of us. So I would say I enjoy the winters. I like to have a little bit of everything rather than just it's different every day. Some winter days are just as beautiful as the summer sunsets, and so yeah, it depends. Obviously, yes, it does snow, and there's no sandy beaches, but it's a give and take, and I actually like the snow, snow angels and snowmen, and you can sled down Quad Hill.
I would, not to sugarcoat it, it's definitely cold, especially coming from San Diego as a shorts on Christmas kind of guy. But I don't know, it's my third year here, and it's still kind of new and cool. I'm with Jordan there. Seasons are still sort of a novelty, because California, the weather's great, but you kind of, definitely coming here, I was ready to see something new, see what winter is all about. But yeah, during the winter, the snow's cool. Driving takes a little bit of getting used to. Sometimes you got to get those all-weather tires on there. Going down Quad Hill becomes an extreme sport. But yeah, for the most part, it's cool. Snow activities definitely weren't something I was used to. So.
I was going to say maybe explain really quickly why going down Quad Hill is an extreme sport.
Yeah, so Guadalupe Hall is the freshman dorm. It's at the bottom of a big grassy hill. There's a safe sidewalk path you can take down when it gets a little icier, a little snowier, but if you like to live dangerously like I do, you just go down the big grass hill, which is actually a big ice hill during the winter.
Gotcha. Nice.
I liked moving to Montana because you definitely get all 4 seasons, which is a new thing. I really like the fall. And one big difference between Montana's cold and other states' cold is that the climate's really dry here. So even though it is cold, the sun's usually still shining. There's over 250 sunny days in Helena. And so that is a huge make it or break it for me. I love that the sun's still shining even when it's cold. And as far as dry cold versus wet cold, dry cold feels so much warmer than wet cold on the East Coast.
Wet cold, San Francisco, wet cold, you want your jacket, even some summer, sometimes in the summer, whereas here, it's so dry that because the moisture's not there. Yeah. I would agree with Katie that it's so much better. You're not chilled to the bone.
So talk to us a little bit about the relationships you have with your professors. Was it easy to get to know them? Have you developed good relationships with them? Anything you'd like to share about that?
I came from a really big high school where I felt like I wasn't that important to my teachers. And so that was a huge thing when I came to Carroll, is that all my professors really wanted to get to know me. And they were willing to learn my name, even if I was in bigger classes. So I was really nervous going into general chemistry because I'm not that good at chemistry, and also it was one of my larger classes. But on the first day of class, my professor, Dr. Gretsch, took a picture of every single person in the room and went home and memorized our names for the next class period. And you'll find that a lot of the professors at Carroll do that and really care about it. And even with like my nursing faculty, like I'm so close with everyone in the nursing program, and especially the professors there. Like they really know everything about like where I'm from, what I want to do, what my goals are, and like they don't even go professor generally. Like I call them Kim or Stephanie or Janet. So definitely really close ties with the professors here.
Yeah, I would agree with Katie. All of the relations I've had with professors have been great, and I know pretty much all my professors by name. And if they see me in the hallway, they're like, "Hey, can you come look at this thing? I can't print to," or whatever. But yeah, it's great working with professors, and the class sizes are like really small and intimate. Obviously, there are some larger classes, but as especially computer science and then a little bit of theater, like class sizes of 15 or 20 or less, depending, and getting to know the professor is like, hey, can we talk like 5 minutes after class? And they're like, oh yeah, no problem. It's not like they're like leaving or classes being taught by TAs or anything like that. So
Yeah. I would say the professors are easy to get to know, especially as you sort of get higher up in your major, higher up in your concentration, you start to have the same professors for different classes. They're easy to form relationships with. And you always know if you decide to cut class one day, you're running the risk of getting a text from your professor saying, hey, like, what was the deal with that? Where were you? So yeah, they really do care.
Great. Share with us a little bit about what you would tell prospective students about Carroll's Catholic identity and how we view the Catholic faith at Carroll.
So I'm not Catholic. I was baptized Presbyterian like before I knew how to spell Presbyterian, and I've been to a handful of masses. I went on freshman retreat, and the Catholic identity is like it's your choice. Like Carroll is a Catholic institution. You take two theology classes as part of your core requirements when you're at Carroll, which I've finished, and I don't go to Mass every day. I don't go to Mass every week. I think I've been to a couple Masses so far this school year, and it's really up to your own thing. Like if you're all about like going to Mass and you're Catholic or you want to explore your faith or new faiths, like that's up to you. But if you're not pressured into going to Mass, and you're definitely not somebody's not coming down the hallway dragging you out the door, like that does not happen. So.
Yeah, I definitely did come to Carroll's Cradle Catholic my entire life, and I knew coming in that I wanted to come to a Catholic school. I knew that my faith was something that I wanted to develop in the years while I was at college, and that really has happened. Carroll is great for that. It's been one of the best experiences of my life, sort of the faith community here at Carroll. I mean, obviously I'm a peer minister now and everything, but yeah, retreats, masses, Father Mark, one of the best people I've ever met in my life, hands down. But like Jordan was saying, it's there as much as you want it. It's available, but it's not going to be aggressive. It's not in your face. You're not going to get pressured into anything.
I would second the Father Mark. Father Mark's awesome. I see him all the time. He gives out free high fives.
And he lives in the freshman residence hall, which is super cool. To like have a priest living next door to you is kind of funny.
Yeah.
Great. Okay, so what would you tell your 18 or maybe 17-year-old self at this point in your college career? Like if you were to go back and give any advice.
Is that
How do
like
you think?
choosing a college or like?
Choosing a college, or like when you're looking at colleges, like what should you like consider? Like maybe something like you think back now and you're like, oh, like no, this would have been a great thing. Like if I had thought about that, I don't know, like something like that. Anything you guys think?
Well, first of all, I'd say put all your life savings on the Cubs in 2016. It's going to pay off well.
Oh, Gav.
But in all seriousness, I would say get involved in as much stuff as you can would be the biggest piece of advice. There's so many great opportunities at Carroll, clubs, academic things, non-academic things, and you definitely want to capitalize on them because they are such great opportunities. There's nothing wrong with being busy.
Great.
My 17 or 18-year-old self, I would say, like, feel like you can't go wrong. Like, you have so much of your life ahead of you. Like, you might as well take every opportunity you can, and that presents itself. Like, I got accepted to Carroll before I got accepted anywhere else, and I got accepted like all over different state schools. And like, I knew after I got my Carroll acceptance letter that's where I wanted to go. But like, don't limit yourself.
Yeah, great.
I would just say that it can be a really scary and stressful time in your life with like everything, and choosing what college to go to is just like another terrifying thing on top of that. But it doesn't have to be scary, and don't worry so much because wherever you end up, you'll meet people who are like you and who want to do what you're doing, and you'll get along with and make really good friends.
Great. Can you think of a story that is a unique experience to Carroll students? Anything that you think is unique to Carroll that could...
I have a story. It was probably my favorite thing I've done at Carroll so far, and it was a pretty unique opportunity in terms of being at Carroll. Allowed me to do it. This past summer, me and about 20 other kids went to Italy for a couple weeks with Father Mark on a Rome pilgrimage trip. We spent 5 days in Assisi and then 8 days in Rome, I want to say, and it was one of the best experiences I've ever had. Father Mark knows all the ropes and all the ins and outs because he actually spent 5 years over there in seminary, and it was incredible. Like I said, one of the best experiences I've ever had.
I don't want to copy Gavin, but I just got back from a study abroad trip to Cuba, which was a faculty-led study abroad trip with Jeanette Fergulia, and there were 7 other students that went, and it was the best time. Cuba is like one of the frontiers that hasn't really yet been explored or exploited, and so going there and going with a bunch of people I knew, and having that experience together was awesome. And global education is really important. I'm planning on doing another trip or 2 next year. So.
Unique to Carroll. Well, I'd say as far as nursing goes, our program's set up in a very unique way. You actually get to be in the nursing program for 3 years, which is a big deal because it's a whole extra year of clinical. That's huge because most schools you only get 2 years, so you actually end up getting like hundreds of extra hours, like in the hospital, working with patients, doing hands-on stuff, and that's super cool. And I'd say another really unique thing about nursing here is that we have a really holistic program. So we do a lot of like psychiatric nursing, we do a lot of like holistic and cultural care, a lot of like meditation, and so it really encompasses the whole person and not just like the physical pathological problems that the patient's experiencing. So that's super unique, I think.
Perfect. Great. Okay. Well, I think we're going to get ready to start wrapping it up, but is there anything else you guys want to share with students that are looking at attending Carroll, or any last words?
I would say if you're a person who sort of likes a close-knit community, like if you go to a smaller high school and like knowing the people you see when you walk to class and being able to say hi to your friends every day and seeing your professors walking around and feeling like you're truly part of sort of a more intimate sort of community, then Carroll's probably your place. That's been one of my favorite things about it. It's been great. I don't regret coming here at all. I'm so glad I did.
My high school was about 1,600 students, and Carroll right now is 1,400 students. And so in high school, I knew everyone in high school. It seemed like my high school was small, but I also went to elementary school and then a middle school with all of those same people. And so coming here, it's almost somewhat like starting over, because like you're meeting everyone new again. It's not like high school, whereas like you're trying to get out of the stigma of whatever, or trying to like making new friends is difficult. Whereas when you come here, everyone's on the same playing field, and I just I love it. I think it's awesome.
Yeah, I think I was really intimidated by a small school at first because my high school had about 3,500 students, and I didn't know anyone or want to know anyone there. But I was like, gosh, like I don't know if I can like make it a school that's smaller than my high school. But what I found coming to a small school is like you know so many more people, even though there's less people, because there's just a stronger sense of community here. So I would highly recommend it.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much. Really appreciate it. And I think we're going to call that a wrap.